This is Me Before Mom, the podcast that helps moms stay connected to themselves while doing the most important job they'll ever have. And I'm your host, Bert Anderson. Hey, this is Bert, and you are listening to Me Before Mom. So today, I want to talk about a movement that I happened upon. A blogger friend of mine started it. Her name is Carly, and she is from Lip Gloss and Crayons. That's her Instagram name too, so you can check it out. Lip Gloss and Crayons. How cute is that? It's like the cutest little thing. But Carly started this movement, and it's a hashtag. So it's called Just Wear the Suit. And her motivation for this was basically, as women, you know, especially moms, like we've been pregnant. We all have things about our bodies we don't like. Pregnancy changes your body. I mean, you have stretch marks. You know, whether your belly button looks weird. Does your belly button look weird? Mine looks so weird. It's so weird looking. But we all have things that we don't like. And so how many of us are like hesitant to even get into a bathing suit? I know I have been at times, and I was a swimmer. I grew up wearing a swimming suit in front of people all the time, and was never ashamed of it until I became a mom and my body started changing with each pregnancy. So Carly started Just Wear the Suit. And basically what it is you go on Instagram, look up the hashtag, and you'll see all these women wearing a suit because we're women. And why should we be ashamed? And so I took the challenge on Monday. I went to the lake with some girlfriends and their kids, and I wore my swimsuit, and I told my friend Rihanna, I was like, okay, I need you to take a picture of me because I am going to take this picture. So FYI, it was staged. It's not like a candid picture. But so I went and I took off my cover up, and I was a little nervous, to be honest, about taking off my cover up because this is the first time my friends have seen me in a bathing suit. And so I took it off, and Rihanna's oldest daughter happened to be standing there, and she saw me take off my cover up, and she was like, "Oh, I really like your suit." And that was all she said. And I was like, oh, thanks. So I kind of turned to Rihanna, and I'm like, all right, we're going to take this picture. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do. What should I do? And she's like, well, like, why don't you put your hands on your hips? Rihanna, before she had kids, dabbled in photography. So she has a photographer's eye. And I just knew, I'm like, I just feel so awkward doing this picture. And not only that, but I don't know if you've ever taken a photo, like had somebody take a photo of yourself. And if you are trying to get like a career on Instagram, you have to do this frequently. You have to pose and stage photos in public because that's where like all the cool Instagram walls are and stuff. I don't know. Look up walls on Instagram and you'll see a whole bunch of beautiful photos in front of really pretty walls. I have never looked at buildings as much as I do now since I became aware of Instagram and beautiful walls. Anyway, so I'm taking this photo and I'm trying to not feel awkward as everybody on the beach is, I am convinced they're all staring at me. So I'm like, okay, well, how about I just put my hands in the water and I'll just throw the water up in the air. And let's just do that. And so she was like, yeah, do that. And so I did that a few times. And then the last shot that we got, which is the shot that I decided to put up on my Instagram feed, I look completely joyful and I'm laughing because I was laughing at the time because I felt a little ridiculous. But at the same time, I don't know, I felt free because in that moment, it was kind of like, you know what? Nobody is really looking at me at this moment. Like nobody's really looking at the lady who's standing in the middle of the lake, you know, throwing water up in the air and smiling. I mean, maybe somebody was looking, but if you think about it, and it's kind of bad about humanity, but we're all so self-focused that I don't really think that we're looking at each other that much and caring about what is going on if you don't know the person. And if you are looking at somebody and you're making fun of them and caring about what they look like, then I kind of think you need to go back to middle school because that's where you belong. So I found this quote that was just perfect for what I wanted to have my readers and my audience feel when they looked at my Instagram. And it's from Steve Maraboli. And he says, "There is nothing more rare nor more beautiful than a woman being unapologetically herself, comfortable in her perfect imperfection. To me, that is the true essence of beauty." And I want you guys to listen to that and to think about that. That there is nothing more beautiful or rare than a woman who is unapologetically herself and comfortable in her perfect imperfection. So those things that you look and you see that are imperfections, they're not imperfections. And there's no reason for you to feel sorry for them. I can look at my, cellulite legs, and I have this big clump of spider veins on my thighs, and I don't think my husband doesn't ever complain about them. Ever. Nobody ever looks at me and they're like, "Oh gosh, your legs, girl." Nobody cares. And it's part of me. It's who I am. I started getting the spider vein thingies when I got pregnant for the first time, and it was because I kept crossing my legs sitting at my desk. But it's unapologetically me. I am not going to apologize for who I am and what I look like to anybody, because the only person that I really need to hold myself accountable to is myself. At the end of the day, can I look in the mirror and think to myself, I have acted with, integrity, and I have been kind, and I like who I am, and I like this person that is staring back at me. So just wear the suit. I actually, one of my readers commented, and she was like, "Oh, that's so awesome that you did this." And this photo for me has been the most engagement that I've had in a very long time. So it's been very interesting to just see different people react to it. Because I'm not like a skinny mini girl. I don't have thigh gap. I will never have thigh gap. I've never had it in my entire life. And she said, she was like, "Oh, that's so nice that you could do that. I'm 3 months postpartum, so I don't want to get into a suit at all." And I wrote back to her and I was like, "Honey, I'm 48 months postpartum. Like, it has been 4 years since my last baby, and I'm not where I want to be. But is that a reason to miss out on life because I don't want to wear a suit in front of people?" And I can honestly tell you that is something that goes through my mind. Like when I'm looking at activities to do with my kids, especially if you are, plus size, or if there's something, physical that you don't like about yourself, I challenge you to embrace that and continue to live your life. Because how many times are you going to miss out on things because you're afraid other people are going to judge you? You can't control what other people do to you. The only thing you can control is how you react to it. And so I feel like we have got to get ourselves out of this middle school mentality, worrying what the world thinks about us, and understand that everybody really cares about themselves more than they care about you. I don't know if you have ever set foot in a gym, but for a long time, I did not want to do group fitness classes or anything like that because I was afraid people were going to look at me and laugh at me. And you know what? Nobody is looking at you because they are looking at themselves. That's why those mirrors are there. It's not to look at other people. It's to look at yourself. Most gyms, if you are new to fitness, Most people in like a group fitness class are so excited to have somebody new to join their community and be crazy with them. They don't care what you look like or what you do or if you can't run. They don't care. They're just happy that you're there. And I feel like that is how a lot of life is. So just wear the darn suit. Just wear the suit. Seriously. It will mean so much to your kids to see you getting in and enjoying life. And there's something really freeing about it, to just, putting on this swimming suit. I really encourage you, go and look at Carly's hashtag because it's really cool. It's the other hashtags that you should look at that will just make you feel really good about life is body positivity or body positive. That's a really encouraging hashtag to look at on Instagram, because I feel like, a lot of us, we spend our time on Instagram because it's pretty and things are nice and put together. And if you follow a fashion blogger, there are tons of fashion bloggers who are very thin. And so if you are a plus size person like me, you tend to kind of feel left out and like nobody can relate. I can't relate to that person because that's just not my body. But there are so many hashtags out there that are body positive, and it's so encouraging. Another one that's really good is F Your Beauty Standard, and it's EFF, Your Beauty Standard. That's a really good one to look at, because women we come in all shapes and sizes, and it's a beautiful thing. So before you decide that you're going to put on the swimming suit, if that's like your thing and you're like, I'm nervous to wear jeans. Gosh, I hate jeans. I understand now why people complain about hating jeans. It's hard to find a good pair of jeans. I would rather wear yoga pants or workout pants. Whatever the thing is that you're kind of like, oh, I want to wear this, but I'm really kind of afraid to. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror for like a week. And I want you every day to pick out something about your appearance that you really like and that you appreciate. Because we don't do that nearly enough. Anytime we look as women, anytime we look in the mirror, we are focusing on what we can change, what needs to be better. Think back to your pre-pregnancy self and looking at photos. I have my entire life thought I was fat. And I look back at my photos before I was pregnant, and I would kill for that body. And I didn't even enjoy it when I had it because I felt like there was something wrong with it. Just saying those words, I mean, I'm just like, if I could like kick my 25-year-old self in the pants and say, why are you unhappy? You're fine. You're fine. And even right now, I am fine. I look at my body and I'm like, sure, I am about 60, 70 pounds heavier than what I want to be. I am a lot heavier than I was at 25. I'm 35 now. But there's no way that the 25-year-old me could, do a Romanian deadlift at 185 pounds. There's no way she could have done that. Nor could the 25-year-old me handle multiple children screaming in her face at the same time and not break down and cry. There are a lot of things that, becoming a mother has made me just stronger in general and rock solid. And that is something to embrace. And so when I look at my body and I'm like, oh gosh, these kids have wrecked my body. No, they haven't. They have not ruined me. They haven't ruined you. We just need to get to the point where we look at ourselves and we love what we see in the mirror. And the only way that that's going to change is if you practice it. You have to practice this because it doesn't come natural. And society, I think, is starting to kind of change. There are a lot of really inspiring women on Instagram who are body positive and, kind of calling for change. And so we don't have to fall back on the size 2 standards anymore and think that that is what is beautiful. So I really do want for you to look at yourself every day, and I want you to pick out something that you love. And you can just make a mental note. If you need to write it down because it makes you feel better, then write it down. And you need to hold on to that, because all too often we are way too quick to sit and nitpick things that we don't like. Like chin hair. I found a chin hair the other day and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And it was long. Why didn't nobody tell me about this long chin hair? I have blonde hair, so I think that's probably why. But I'm aging and I am getting chin hair. But then I look at my chin and I'm like, oh, I still have a dimple in my chin, just like my dad. I like that. I mean, how often do you look at yourself and you think, you know what? I am still really beautiful. If you don't do that, you need to start today, like right now. If you're listening to this while you're getting ready, I want you to look in the mirror, look yourself up and down and be like, you look good. And walk around like you look good. Because half of beauty and appearance is what is the confidence that you display to other people. If you walk around confident and assured in yourself, that is what the world sees. If you walk around timid and you act embarrassed, then people pick up on it. I tell my kids all the time I'm like, you know what? You can get away with pretty much anything as far as social standards go if you're confident in yourself and your decisions. You don't need to follow the crowd. Stand up for yourself and what you believe in and be confident about it. And the same goes for you, Mom. Stand up, be confident because you're worth it. Just wear the suit. So I want you to follow a few people on Instagram. I want you to use the Instagram or the handles that I talked about earlier. They'll be in the show notes. So follow some of those people. And then I want you to follow one of my fellow podcasters here on Matriarch, Molly May. It's her name. On Instagram, she's Schmolly Mac. She's just so light and just refreshing. And she is a fashion Instagrammer. And she is body positive. And she is not a size 0. She's a normal woman like you and me. I want you for sure to go and follow her. Check out her podcast too. It'll definitely make you feel good about yourself. And I want you to understand that you are beautiful. The mere fact that you are a mom means you're beautiful. Inside and out. I know we like to say that it doesn't matter what the outside looks like, but we all know that we feel better when we feel pretty. And you are pretty. And I want you to look at yourself in the mirror every single day. And even if you're like, I like the way my lips look today, then you like the way your lips look. When you have a good hair day, take note of it and internally say, you're having a good hair day. Or if you're like me, you can just tell your husband and then he can look at you like, thanks for letting me know that. But sometimes I do that. Sometimes I look, Ben, and I'm like, you know what? I look really good today, don't I? And he's like, yes. Own it. Own who you are. Own your own beauty and the way you look, because you look really good. Don't allow whatever insecurities you feel, that you have, don't allow it to hold you back from your life. If you hear nothing else that I'm saying today, that is the point of this. Don't let your self-esteem or how you look hold you back in experiencing life with your family and with your kids. Just wear the suit. Just wear the suit. And be kind to yourself. Above everything else, be kind. That's all we have. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to connect with me on bertamanderson.com and please visit our website, matriarchdm.com, for all of the show notes and to hear other awesome podcasts.